What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Ultravox as we continue through Lament 1984. Big shout out to Phil for providing this larger catalog, as well as to all those who've been commenting along the way. And it seems like the title track of this album is a big favorite among people based on the comments I saw, so shout out to you for those insights and opinions. The next track is Man of Two Worlds. So, okay, on the surface of it, it suggests someone who has one leg or, one hand in two different worlds, and those could be cultural worlds, they could be economic worlds, they could be social circles. And I forget what song it was, but I remember Mark talking in a comment, and it's something that, I've studied in my anthropological studies and so on, where we humans, depending on the situation, depending on the people we're with, depending on the location, geographical or spatial, we can don different personas, we navigate conversations and even present ourselves in distinct ways. And so we are not only plastic in the sense of being able to adapt to different situations, but we are also a multiplicity. We are more than just a singular, constant, and unified persona. And though some people may do that more freely or even more consciously than others, I think it does remain true that people adapt their demeanor, their behavior, their speech to a given situation, whether that's demographically, socioeconomically, culturally, politically, you name it. So I think of those things when I see a title that says Man of Two Worlds, though it may be much more narrow and, less academic in terms of literally someone who, works in a upper tier or like upper class setting and then goes home to the other side of the tracks and, lives in a ramshackle apartment among, people on the way other end of the spectrum. It could be something much more concrete in that regard, but I do wonder the essence of the phrase, which is very poetic and evocative from the start. I'll stop talking. Let's give it a listen. This is Ultravox, not Natalie Cole, who I already reacted to. But yes, this is Ultravox. The track is Man of Two Worlds, and it's from their 1984 album, Lament. The track is respirating.
Taking shelter by the standing stones, miles from all the roofs. Solitude, seeking confidence, a gift to me. Feeling spirits never far removed, passing over me. And I greet them with open arms. Hand fighting, hand as you turn to one man up to her presence moving into me. Painting pictures with its words. Seeing places that I've never seen. Like a door thrown open on a life I've lived before.
Wow. What a tune. So I really don't know what it's about. I'll try to start with the lyrics. There are two parts that I did hear a little more clearly than the rest. The first was like in the first half of the song when he said something like reading ancient, it wasn't manuscripts, but something to that effect, and how like the words cut deep and they're so old. And then I heard later something about like words painting a picture or like, you know, constituting some image. So yeah, I wonder whether this is about the way, you know, reading can transport you, as Carl Sagan would say, it can take you into the mind of someone who may have lived a very long time ago and they're speaking directly to you. So maybe you're in the present world, but you're also entering this other world, be it ancient or otherwise, through whatever material, and you're seeing the images through the word pictures that are being painted in the text. But I feel like there's got to be more to it than that. Secondarily, I don't think that was all Midge, right? I think there was a female singer there, and her vocals, assuming I'm right about that, were incredible. Like really, like a rich melodic sound and some long extensions. And I enjoyed how both Midge and this female singer would have parts where they were high in the melodic spectrum and then they would drop down low. Like there were some like quick melodic transitions, like vertically, if that makes sense. Which again, when I hear music, there's a spatial dimension to it, as well as, you know, not just relative placement, but like movement. And again, there were a couple of times where both voices seemed to drop down and go lower after being higher in the melodic range. I love that it was like a Celesta, or maybe like a glass organ or something. I assume it's like a, you know, a synth keyboard, but the character of the melody in that one line was like very like organ-esque. I'll say also it had this like opera meets, like synth opera meets gothic type of feel to it. It felt very dramatic. It was like epic, but in a like very like throwback kind of way. I don't know how to characterize it. My brain is struggling to find the right semantic hardware to convey the ephemeral experience I had with it. But yeah, like again, synth opera meets gothic type of atmosphere, but with a lot of, you know, drama to it. I guess drama is kind of the term I'm going for. But yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I found that to be compelling vocally, lyrically, to the degree that I heard it, and especially sonically. And I have to say, this album is incredible. Not that their earlier albums weren't great, but this feels like they're a bit more like experimenting with a real like artistic type of approach, for lack of a better way to phrase it, or you know, to oversimplify it a little bit. So yeah, it's like synth pop, but it's like artsy synth pop is the way it's coming across. In any case, I very much enjoyed that. Curious to hear what people had to say. Let me know, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.